I'm learning a lot tonight.
How many drinks to have?
You know, only have 2. Before this evening, fellow Toastmaster, I thought that mentorship.
No, listen up.
I thought that membership was all about learning. Leadership, mentorship was all about learning until I heard Toastmaster Carlos Palacios' presentation. You know, I had a house with a pool, and I couldn't swim.
Well,
Joke in the floor.
Something change?
I got a boat, but I don't know how to drive.
You need to let me know.
But I realized it's not about having someone who can teach you. Carlos Palacios said that Toastmaster Keith Majors beat him down. And he realized that he wasn't beating him down, but he was actually building him up. And so, fellow Toastmasters and guests, you have heard from persons who have an associate's degree in mentorship. You've heard from a person who has a bachelor's degree in mentorship. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, we come to bring you a man who has a doctorate degree in mentorship. So I'm going to ask that you put your hands together and make some noise for the man who has written the book on mentorship. Fellow Toastmasters, put your hands together as we recognize distinguished Toastmaster Keith, the Ayatollah Major. No! Hey.
Order, gents, order. Hands on the floor.
You get big voice.
Good evening, everyone.
Yes, good evening.
Somebody made a remark in the background. They've said everything but us can be said.
We stay for you.
And that is true. I was very humbled by Toastmaster Edwards' remarks for 2 reasons. One, everything he said undergirded the opinion I was coming with tonight.
You should have gone first.
I do want a copy of your speech just to crystallize in my mind. He came up with some really new, interesting stuff on mentorship. Everything has been said. I'm going to take a different angle. I won't be as long as I normally are. A couple of things I want to say, and that is this. The first one is this. There are 4 things that are important in my life. 4 things. And each of these areas
Don't
I
walk the
have,
coconut tree now.
in each of these areas, I have done mentoring.
Yes.
In the first area, the church. I'm very, my church. And in my church, there's a young man years ago who came in as a young pastor, loosening his shirt when he's preaching. And I came to him and I said, "Why are you loosening your shirt?" He said, collar too tight. I said, buy a bigger collar. I said, you do not have the right to loosen your shirt. And your sermons are too long. You have to be good before you can preach long. Kind of long story short, we became fast friends. He is now the number 2 guy of a $4 million member section of the church in Inter-America. Insurance is another area that's important to me.
Yes. 2
of the current vice presidents in 2 rivaling companies were groomed by me from their beginnings. The third thing important to me is my kids, my sons, all of whom have gone into various aspects of marketing, all of whom tell me they view me as their hero. And those of you who have kids, if when they reach 35 and 36, they still view you as their mentor, that's more than an accomplishment. And the 4th area important to me is Toastmasters. Tony Longley, who I think is going to become the top dog in Toastmasters in a few years, came to me. I was his mentor. I brought him to the club. Look where he is now. Not only Tony Longley, a number of people. A lot of people, Carlos Palacios. Carlos Palacios said to me a short while ago, you know, I'm your mentor, you're my mentor, blah, blah, blah. I say, I'm only your mentor because you allow me to be your mentor.
He talk with you a lot.
And Hubert Edwards talked about it quite a bit. And that is, when you are mentoring, you allow the mentee the stage. You move from in front of the camera and you become the director. But I'll tell you, I learn more from him. We have lunch every month. I learn more from him than he learns from me. I learn more from him than he learns from me. Because the mentoring now is no longer me telling him what to do. It's him telling me what he has done. And the more he talks, well, I just pose questions. And he just do. And he's posed. And so I'm just cheering him on. Wow. And then I asked him one day, I said, you don't need me. Why? I said, friendship, believability. But he views me, he holds me as his mentor. He doesn't need me anymore. Wow. Many presidents through here I mentored, but they wanted kept secret that I used to be their mentor. Carlos proudly does it.
Name them.
But that's fine, guys. That's fine. That's fine. Another guy I mentored a couple of times who had an ignominious start with me as well was Dwight Burroughs. His first when he entered the club, he ran 4 times that night for election, and I led the onslaught against him to lose all 4 of those positions. And then immediately afterwards, I went to him and I hugged him up. He probably didn't understand what I was doing at the time. Anyway, that was reversed to the point that when he makes major decisions, he talks to me.
He's come to the major man.
But he made a very, very high compliment to me a few months ago when he said to me, Mays, there are 3 people I talk to when I make a move. 2 of those people, I can't remember their names, but they're very, very high-ranking people. James Smith and Chester Cooper, and he said me. To be in that kind of company coming from a mentee.
Them 2 guys, man. They fries compared to you.
You start drinking now.
Big
I thought you were wine free. Anyway, so the point I'm making now is, in the light of Toastmaster Edwards' speech, what I'm doing is emptying into other people and pulling into the background. Indeed, a part of my not coming out to club so far this year is a part of that process. In fact, they scheduled me to speak on an important night. And when I saw the 3 people, I said to PP, no, allow them to speak. You got some good speakers. I'm pulling back and allowing that. But does that mean I'm doing nothing? No, many presidents. One just got elected a couple of weeks ago. They called me. They hear of me. They want me to come to different clubs and do other stuff. Yep. I've become more national in my approach as people come seeking me. Yes. Wow. But as they seek me, I'm trying to pull more in the background and let them fly out. And I am truly enamored by their success, what they say and what they are doing. It's not a matter of, I taught you or you or this. No. I'm enamored when Carlos comes back and he talks about his organizational reform and this, that, and he sends me a shortened book to read and all this other stuff. I am learning more from him than I ever taught him. Yet he considers me a mentor. My current mentor came about, who's my mentor, came about when I went into his office and I said, congratulations on the book. I say, I never wrote a book, but I got 12 books inside of me. Wow. I say, I respect everybody who wrote a book. And he looked at me and he said, Mage, I always wanted to help somebody. I can help you do that. I say, that's your job. Rodney Bain is now my mentor. Wow. And if my book is produced, then he can take credit. If it is not,
then you come see me.
All right. I want to end this presentation by saying this one thing here. And that is,
you get it.
Yeah, I want to end this presentation. All of a sudden it's disappeared. But anyway, I want to end this presentation by saying this one thing. I've just finished reading a book that I think everybody in here should read.
Wow.
It's a book, can't remember the author right now, but it's a book called Knowing Mandela.
Oh.
And this was written by an author who had spent 10 years. He had spent 10 years in South and Central America as they established and knocked down different depots and all this other stuff. And false governments and correct governments and all that. And he was assigned to South Africa. And he said that none of those people who won those elections were sincere in what they were doing. So when he went to South Africa, he was expecting the same thing from Mandela.
Wow.
He observed Mandela up front and close. And he saw that he was different. He saw that he was truly friendly. He truly was forgiving of his captors. I don't have the time to go into all that. But the bottom line was he saw in Mandela a different type of politician. And he saw that as a result of Mandela's own personal traits, he changed a country that could have been destroyed by infighting. Wow. The transition was smooth and peaceful, and South Africa, instead of being a divided country, is a great country today because of Mandela's own personal attributes. And here's the point I want you to get as I met the stage. The point I want you to get is this. This writer, in closing his book, he went to Bishop Desmond Tutu, who he considered the penultimate or the ultimate authority on Mandela. And he said to Mandela, he said to Bishop Desmond Tutu, he said to him, Bishop Tutu, you know Mandela more than anybody else. In a few paragraphs, describe Mandela to me. He said, and I'm going to give you some homework. He said he described him in one word. He described him in one word. And I said, what was that word? And that word was magnanimity. Say what? Magnanimity. And he said nothing else. I said, now, this book can't leave me hanging. I went and I Googled that word. And this is your assignment, to Google this word. Because the process of Googling this word will infuse you, will excite you, will ignite you. And when I Googled that word, I found 30 other positive words around that one word. And so I say as I depart, to all of you mentees, would-be mentors, aim like Mandela for them to say about you when they describe you that he was magnanimous,
Yes.
and that he had magnanimity.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Ah, felt those mouths.